Hi, welcome to our first lesson. I prepared a short video of our topic, Exploration to America. In this video, I'm going to discuss a little bit about how we came to the Americas and why people began exploring, some of the motivations of why people began to kind of stretch their knowledge of the world. So to begin, we're just going to start with some vocabulary that you guys are going to come across in this lesson. You guys, I will be posting this PowerPoint to our Google Classroom. So you guys will have time to kind of look over these vocab words and familiarize yourself with them. They will be on an assessment, so it definitely would be a good idea to take these down and write them in your notes. All right. Same thing with these words. These are our 6 vocab words for this lesson. I will try to start out these lessons with something like this, something simple, to introduce you guys to new vocabulary and show you guys new information. So when people started to explore the Americas, there are already people here. All right. Christopher Columbus did not discover the Americas. We say that because he definitely was the most popular explorer and kind of got the New World to be known. But even he didn't know the New World. He thought he was in India, which we'll hear later on. The first groups of people came across this ice bridge called Beringia. All right, and these are going to be nomadic people who kind of follow herds of animals in order to hunt and eat them and survive. So the first people came across on this little ice bridge from Asia to America. All right, and this is a map of our world today. As you can see, this is a pretty accurate map. Back then, they weren't using maps this good. All right, they didn't have any information about land that was over on the east side of the globe or the west side of the globe. So they were taking a huge risk in exploring, and they didn't know what they were going to come across. So in the late 15th century, Europeans began a new era of exploration. Right? What led to this exploration? What led to people begin wondering what is out there? All right, and think about some of the reasons that people move today. All right, maybe there isn't much opportunity for them to be successful where they're at. Maybe it's crowded. Maybe there's not enough food. Maybe they're being persecuted for their religious beliefs. All of these are reasons that people move. If you're safe and you're well fed and you don't really have to worry about anything dangerous, then you have no reason to move, right? So something wanted these people to kind of move from that, relocate from their homes. So a lot of things led up to this. Better education, for example, all right? The printing press, all of these things that we're going to talk about leading up to this. So one of the things, obviously, better sailing technology. With people from the Renaissance becoming more educated, that led into technological innovations. Schools were opened up by Henry the Navigator, Prince Henry, and they developed new navigational techniques. They developed new ships that were sturdier and lighter and could carry more weight and were better maneuverable, more maneuverable. So this greatly influenced the ability to, explore new areas of the world. All right. So here's a picture of the Caravel. All right. You can see it has triangular sails. It's not a huge ship. All right. This wouldn't be a ship that would be typically used for battle. All right. This would be more so a ship that was used for trading. All right. And exploration. So back then we didn't have a GPS, but we did have this little device right here called the astrolabe, right? And it used the position of the sun and stars to determine latitude and ultimately your location. The development of this tool was huge because now you could locate where you're at and kind of see what direction you were going and if you were going the right way or maybe in the complete wrong direction. So this was a lifesaver to sailors, early sailors. All right, the magnetic compass. All right, we're probably pretty familiar with this, even though I'm sure not too many people watching this have used one. But the magnetic compass points true north, all right, and is another navigational tool used to determine direction. All right, the printing press. And I mentioned this earlier. Um, Maps, as you could see, if I move my all right, maps were not very good. All right, they weren't accurate, and map making improved greatly with the printing press. All right, maps were now or able to be mass produced, whereas before, all maps were hand drawn. And you can imagine the inaccuracies that somebody would have to experience, trying to navigate your way using inaccurate map. So once the printing press made way, not only did it improve maps, but it also improved the information that people learned about sailing, about navigating, about what was out there in the rest of the world. So not only did it help with maps, but it helped just purely educating people on how to explore different areas and survive. So we're going to go into some of the reasons for exploration, and as you can imagine, gold is probably one of the biggest reasons. All right, and they weren't just looking for gold. We're going to use gold as a generalization. All right, a lot of things are worth money. All right. And one of the things that they sought after the most was probably spices. Spices back then were worth their weight in gold. And if you think about it, it makes sense because we like flavor to our food. All right. Before this, food was very bland. All right. You didn't have sugar to put in your coffee. You didn't have cinnamon or different types of peppers to spice your food up. And anybody who knows that, or anybody that cooks knows it's important to flavor your food. So gold is one of the main reasons why. Gold, any commodity that you could sell, you wanted to kind of explore, lay claim to that area, and have access to those resources so you could sell them. Mhm. So that's one of the simple reasons. Gold, money, and wealth. God is another reason. All right, people were very passionate about their religion and their desire to spread Christianity to new lands. They saw this as kind of their noble, God-given duty as Christians. All right, think about it. Before the age of exploration, we were fighting crusades. So religion was very important to them, and spreading that religion became one of their main goals. All right. And the last reason, glory. All right. Who doesn't want to be famous? Right. Explorers were motivated by the fame that came with discovering something major. So, they earned that celebrity and kind of, we're still talking about them today in our history books. All right. So we're going to give a brief introduction to Columbus. All right. He was turned down by a variety of different monarchs. As you can imagine, it's very expensive to fund a journey. You need boats, you need men, food, supplies. All right. So he needed money to, find a successful trade route to Asia. All right. So a lot of his requests were turned down. People really didn't have the time or the money to invest in exploration. So King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella finally caved. All right. And they decided to fund Christopher Columbus's journey to America. Well, to India. He thought he was going to India. All right. So the three G's, all right, Columbus definitely spread religion. He was mainly looking for gold, all right? And, as we can see, we're still talking about him. We celebrate Columbus Day every year, all right? He made his glory, all right? He discovered the new world. So his first voyage, he kind of lands in the Bahamas and, kind of goes right back to Europe. Takes a couple things to kind of impress the king and queen and then makes his journey back. He called the inhabitants Indians because he thought he was in India. He thought he was in Asia. That's what he was looking for. He would later hop from island to island, discovering Haiti, Cuba, and the Dominican Republic. And he believed he was on the other side of the world. He was looking for gold. All right, and if you read Columbus's journal, you could see that even though he was looking for gold, he never really found any. Here's a picture of Columbus's journeys. All right, as you can see, his journeys kind of got more and more intense. All right, so this first journey he kind of hops around and then goes back. His second journey, he's island hopping all over the place, and that the reason for it is because he's looking for gold. All right, and I thought this was a pretty cute cartoon. Um, uh, and we always celebrate Columbus, but in the end, a lot of people feel this way, that he stole a lot of land from natives that were already living there. His claim to fame is finding a trade route to India that he never found. All right, so there's a lot of different things, a lot of different controversies about Christopher Columbus. Um, uh, that's it for the presentation. I just wanted to do a quick recap. All right, if I can get my. So to recap, some of the motivations for exploration: God, gold, and glory; money, all right, fame, and religion. Those are the three major motivations for exploration. And some of the tools that were developed then were made us able to explore. All right, so like the printing press and that spread of knowledge, like those navigational tools that we discussed, like the astrolabe and the caravel and the magnetic compass. All right, so those are the main points I want you guys to get from this lesson, to kind of get you guys to start thinking about how we were able to do this and why we are here today.